everybody, my name is Eusong, and welcome to MyReviews, where I take a look at lesser-known games and give you the rundown of what they are and what I think of them. Today we're going to be taking a look at Cattails. We'll be covering 4 points, being story, graphics, audio, gameplay, and then I'll be giving my final judgment. Now, without further ado, let's delve into the world of Cattails. Now, before I start the actual review, I'd like to discuss something few people know. Cattails is actually based off of a game created by the same developers long ago. This old game was free to play, and still is. Its name? Warrior Cats: Untold Tales. This isn't an Untold Tales review, so I'm not going to discuss it here, but I will say that I am so glad they made their own game free from copyright. Untold Tales was amazing, and you'll find I love Cattails just as much, if not more. When you start a new game in Cattails, you're introduced to the beginning of the story via a series of images. The images tell the tale of a little girl who finds a cat in a pet store. The little girl joyfully takes it home, spending time with it and playing with it. This cat is your character. However, as you grow older, the mother grows impatient and angry with you. Despite the girl's crying protests, the mother drives into the middle of nowhere and abandons you, speeding off while you stand bewildered on the side of the road. While sitting on the side of the road, you're approached by a black and white cat named Coco. Coco inquires as to what you're doing here. After explaining your situation, Coco offers to teach you how to fend for yourself. This proceeds into a tutorial for how the game works. Coco then tells you should join one of the colonies of cats that live in this area. Although Forest Colony is the default choice, you can choose whichever one you want. There is a deeper story to the game than just surviving as a cat, but the majority of the game is just your cat's life in the wild. If you want to avoid spoilers for the game, skip ahead to the time displayed now. Still here? Alright. Well, Coco, the cat you first meet, leads you to an ancient temple in the center of the map. Inside the temple, Coco tells of how the forest spirit vanished, and Coco's been trying to bring it back, along with returning balance. The two of you discover that you may be the key to the forest spirit's return. The game isn't heavily story-based, and it's mostly just to give you a goal, as well as a way for you to unlock the ability to create your own colony. I must admit, I find the story somewhat lacking. It feels forced in just to be something to keep you busy, and to hide the rest of the game's content from you. It's not terrible, but the game would be virtually the same without it. Cattails has a pixelized style, though not to the point of being 8-bit. The world looks gorgeous despite not being a higher definition. The natural colors and excellent work done makes it a true piece of art. Although it might seem lazy to some, due to the fact the style was likely easier than most options, I still think it looks nice. That is, except for the face portraits. Here is where I feel the style fails. The cats look so weird. They're somewhat cartoony, but still realistic enough to fall into the uncanny valley when I look at them. They just creep me out. Stop looking at me that way! Ugh. Cattails inherits its ancestors' beauty of music. The songs are so peaceful and enjoyable. There aren't a lot of sound effects in the game, but that doesn't result in it feeling barren. It just makes it feel more calm and relaxing. The one thing I don't like, though, about the sound design is the rainy days. I can't blame the game completely, as I tend to dislike these sorts of sounds in all games, but not all games result in me dreading the rainy days. Take Breath of the Wild or Skyrim, for example. Their rain is much easier on my ears. Despite this, though, I'd say the sound design is well done, and the music is so good! The gameplay in Cattails is very similar to a game such as Stardew Valley, except instead of farming, you're hunting. Instead of energy, you have hunger. Instead of star drops, you have power paws. Instead of a landscape to tame, you have territory to claim. However, many aspects are still similar. You have a home you can upgrade, cats to woo, kittens to be made, mines to explore, enemies to fight, and items to be collected for the main storyline. There are also events that happen every season, with mini-games to participate in. The gameplay can get boring eventually, as there's not a whole lot of innovation as you proceed in the game. One thing that infuriates me about the gameplay is that the codes you can unlock to customize your cat can't be carried over to a new save. There's also no New Game Plus option when you complete the storyline and unlock the extra features. I wish it was possible to use codes obtained in other saves, or to play as the offspring of your original cat. That would make the game much more entertaining in the long run, and would keep me addicted for much more lengthy periods of time. The game is still a great deal of fun, however. Leveling up your cat's skills gives you decent long-term goals, as well as the aspect of taking over the entire map. I do wish when you claim large amounts of territory, the other colonies would grow more worried or hostile towards you, but that isn't my biggest desire for the game. The main thing you'll do during your time playing is hunting and foraging. While it's possible to survive the game as a vegetarian, it's so satisfying to hunt and eat the various prey you find around the map. From fish to frogs, crows to field mice, there's a decent variety. A bigger variety would be cool, but there's still plenty as is. One of the best parts of the game, in my opinion, is raising kittens. When you have a mate, you can have kittens with them. The kittens, after growing for a time, will eventually be able to come on expeditions with you. Whether it's hunting or fighting, your kitten will gain experience with every outing. And don't worry, they can't die. Be careful though, because you can. You can always continue the game and simply lose whatever was in your inventory, but I often carry around lots of stuff at all times, especially before I get the storage area in my den, so that's usually the less chosen option in my games. All in all, the gameplay is extremely fun for the first couple of in-game years. However, this isn't the kind of game I can spend forever on. I usually have large breaks in between play sessions, and by large, I mean months. In the end, I love Cattails. It's one of my favorite games, though it may not be one of my most played. It's still getting updates, so there's always hope for even more features to be added. Is it worth the $15 on Steam? Without a doubt. If you enjoy simulation games such as Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon, or even survival games, definitely get your paws on Cattails. You won't regret it. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in more game reviews, please consider subscribing to my channel. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.